Hey yo, what's up everybody, it's Zane JJ. Today I'm coming back with a video talking about what happened on Luna, and of course from there we are gonna basically discover what is happening, and after that what had happened, and of course in the future what is gonna happen. And of course on this video itself I'm gonna show you how much have I lost in this Luna Terra space itself. And of course I would say my condolence and of course apologies for whoever has been invested into Luna/Terra on my previous video talking about Anchor protocol and everything. But of course every time when I do a video I tell you invest in what you can afford to lose. So I hope my viewers have really embedded this to your mind, and of course from there invested what you can afford to lose in whatever ecosystem, regardless it is approved by the MAS, approved by the SEC or whatsoever. You have to know this golden rule that invest in what you can afford to lose. Doesn't mean it is approval by stamp by official itself. If let's say shit hits the ceilings all the way to the floor like this, what happened on Luna, hits the ceiling and after that basically all the way to the floor, basically this happened. And of course I believe that people lost money, and of course when this happened itself, even though it is a regulated product or whatsoever, you have your chances of getting your money back is as good as zero. So only invest in what you can afford to lose. So this is the golden rule in investing. And of course disclaimer itself, I was not affiliated with any of them, only the exchanges that you can buy and sell through the product itself, like I don't know, CoinHako, Binance, or whatever, KuCoin, those exchanges. Yes, I'm affiliated. If you want to support the channel, use the link down below. And am I affected in this Luna itself? Yes, definitely, because I'm being invested into the Luna Terra ecosystem. But of course we're gonna jump into the video without further ado. How did this shit happen? So over here I would say this over here is just like a meme people posted. So this is just a craft of what happened. Basically BlackRock, and after that this hedge fund itself borrowed 100k in Bitcoin from Gemini, and after that from there they took a loan block from them itself, from Gemini, and after that from there they head over to Do Kwon, basically the Terra Luna founder itself, asked him that do you want to buy Bitcoin for a discount through UST. So he agreed, and after that from there this is what happened. I'm going to link it down below. I'm not going to read the whole thing. If you want to, just pause on the video and read the article yourself. Basically this is just a speculation, but of course there's nothing true about it. So over here this is the second thread that I found on Twitter itself. What happened to the UST and Luna itself? It is a long thread, and after that what have happened in the last 4 days. So over here this is a detail of how the attack happened, and after that I would say this over here looks creditable. And after that we can read that basically this all started when the massive sell-off on Curve, basically it's another DeFi platform, and after that there was 85 million UST to basically USDC swap, and after that from there it is a bit imbalanced. And of course basically this is what happened. And after that if you want to read more about it, you can basically read it, because I'm not gonna do a lengthy video reading the whole segment one by one to you. Basically long story short itself, it is some attackers that borrowed some Bitcoin or some cryptocurrency to basically sell it to the Luna Foundation, and after that the LFG let's fucking go, basically their Luna Foundation whatever is it, basically they took the bait, and after that eventually they have been basically working with the attacker, basically like selling, like buying Bitcoins, and after that from there giving US Tether or Luna whatsoever, and from there shit happened, hit them back, and after that from there they lost money. I mean like the whole market crashed because of this, and after that many more stuff that happened. You can read the thread which I'm gonna post down below. And after that basically they depegged the the UST, and of course to US dollar value itself, it has been depegged. And after that from there, when this happened itself, it caused a lot of panic, because it is supposed to be promised 1 USD to 1 UST, and after that from there eventually it did not peg, and shit happened, and of course everything just went down all the way like this. And of course if you want to look at the chart of UST itself, it is no longer 1-to-1, so it is 1 to basically 17 cents, though this is not a stable coin anymore. And after that you still can see it's a rank 35, and of course there's a total supply of 11 billion of these over here. So it's very sad thing that happened. So for those who are really want to know more about it, so over here you can see the first meme itself talking about this BlackRock and this hedge fund. I do not know how to pronounce, I don't know, Kidal or Citadel, something like that. Basically they borrow some money. So over here there's an official article telling them they have denied all the involvement about this Terra 4. And of course from what I know, and after that from what I have done researching from the past itself, people has been talking about this had happened because the founder itself is somehow cocky. And after that we're gonna jump into the segment later on. So over here on this first meme, there's talk about this BlackRock and of course this Citadel or whatever, they have basically talked about it, and after that from here they deny the claims that this happened or whatever. Truly, who knows what happened? And after that from there, I would say that they are freaking rich, they are hedge fund, and after that from there they want to do whatever it is possible. Just cover the tracks, just don't get caught. This is how the world works, and of course justice, law, or whatsoever is just there to basically keep us in order. But of course, whoever is wealthy and rich can basically go above the boundary. You never know. I mean, like, there's so much show on Netflix about that. And of course, we're gonna talk about how does, like, if let's say you already know about this Luna or UST itself, Anchor Protocol giving 20% or even 15%, you might think it's very good, and after that, to be honest, you did not do much research. But right now, we're gonna basically tell you how does it really work. This segment itself might be a little bit late for whoever is invested in it, but of course, you lost something, and after that from there, to be honest, I do not really know how the ecosystem works, but of course I gotta know that, okay, you need to have Luna, and after Luna can be burned for UST, and after that UST can be redeemed for Luna. So this is how it's supposed to work. But of course, deep down there's a lot of ecosystem, and of course lots of like mechanic to basically let this thing work. And of course, this is algorithmic stable coin. Basically, people call it will always fail, something like that. So this is a lesson that we learn from this Luna and of course UST fiasco. But of course, you want to know more about it because in the future you are going to be invested in the crypto market or whatsoever. This experience and this downfall of this crypto itself can make you learn a lot, and of course from there you can do as much due diligence as you want, and of course decide if you want to put in money or not. So how does it really work? Basically, you can see you can always redeem Luna and for UST, and after that dollar for dollar, vice versa. And after that, if Luna is at 50, you can redeem 50 UST. Simply you can redeem like 50 UST for one Luna, something like that. And after that from there, there's a thread talking about how does this Luna work itself. So in a nutshell, this is how it works. And after that, deep down itself, there is like much more technical term like arbitrage trading. And after that from there, if let's say Luna, the UST itself went below like $1 itself, and after that from there is an opportunity for people to arbitrage trade on this downfall of this little coin itself. I would say $1 falls to like 99 cents. Shit can happen, and after that people will keep playing it. So how does the whole hack happen is basically the DPEG itself, and after that from there people kept arbitrage trading. I would say not people but a group of rich people done this arbitrage trading, and after that eventually caused the whole UST equal, I mean, like, because it's algorithm, and after that from there is a loophole in this algorithm which has been like spotted by many people, and after that from there the founder itself, Do Kwon, say that it is like that, and after that from there it will succeed whatever, and people buy into that because the marketing itself, I would say, is good enough. And of course eventually if you want to read more about this thread itself, feel free to read about it, and after that I've already summarized and read it. And yeah, basically this is what I know of, and after that I've learned a little bit more. And yeah, basically over here they ask the question, how does it give like 20% free money every year? Basically they say, well, it's easy. The LFG Luna Foundation guard itself oversees the Terra multi-billion ecosystem, and after that from there this is how it's gonna work. First of all, we need to figure how does the Luna token work, blah blah blah. You can just read it on your own. I'm not gonna read it to you. Just pause the video if you want to. We're gonna scroll it down slowly. So the market cap itself does not really matter because yeah, Luna and UST itself, the market cap, it is somehow combined. And after that, I would say it is a little bit hard to track the market cap. So you can see the market cap is a FUD. It doesn't matter the basically total implied value of Luna is. Basically what it matters is the marginal value of each Luna is redeemed for the UST, vice versa. And after that, over here, so over here, he show you one example. Basically, Luna price high, Luna burn many UST minted, and after that, Luna price falls, UST redeem for many Luna. So this is a bad, basically market making concept itself. So you can see this over here does not really make sense. If let's say you read about it, basically the price go higher, you can mint more, and after that, when the price like dip, you can mint many Luna. So it is somehow not a good concept. And after that, people are talking about it right now. Yeah, I mean, this thread is freaking long. I'm gonna just link it down, and after that you want, you can just click on it. And of course, the next part itself, don't be cocky in the crypto space. So over here, I would say being cocky in the crypto space itself is somehow not worth it, because what have happened itself is basically Do Kwon itself, the founder, has been a little bit cocky in crypto. I mean not a little bit, but super cocky, talking about like he don't talk to people in the pool or whatsoever, debate, whatever, pool on Twitter, those who are not in the Anchor Protocol ecosystem. And after that, from there, I remember seeing a thread talking about basically him replying to a thread that how Luna slash Terra can be exploited with I think $1 billion or something like that. So eventually he just replied it and say like this is the most stupidest shit that he has ever seen on Twitter or whatsoever. But of course that thread itself lasted well. I can't really find the thread now, so I can't link it down on the video, but of course on Twitter itself I know some is somewhere out there basically somebody talking about how Luna is gonna get exploited with just $1 billion in capital, and after that from there he can just using this $1 billion in capital can basically destabilize the stable coin, the UST, and after that eventually make the whole thing crash. Eventually it worked out, and after that I mean like he has been cocky, and after that from there he have made some enemies, and of course people want this thing to crash because of whatever he have tweeted or whatsoever. So yeah, I mean this is shit that happened. If let's say he kept his mouth shut, I mean like Luna or Terra might had a chance to basically go a little bit longer slash further down the road. So people have been like saying commenting that he have to be like really be quiet or whatsoever. And after that, right now what's next on Luna Terra network? So over here, this is a post by him, the founder itself. Basically over here, number one, he has spent the last few days with phone calls with the Terra community members, builder community members, employees, friends and family basically that have been devastated by the UST depegging. Yes, I mean like there's a lot of people who put their life savings into the US Tether, the UST US Terra ecosystem itself have been supporting the Luna network and of course Anchor protocol, because 20% it sounds really good. And after that from there, from the past experience itself, from on looking at Anchor itself, I mean the UST, it has been depegged by a little bit, but of course eventually it climbed back up. And after that from there, I believe that these systems that happen, I mean like this fiasco that happened, depeg a bit, and after that from there it went back up to $1. Eventually it gained a lot of confidence to the users, and after that from there, me myself itself, I feel that I'm very confident with this product itself because of the situation that happened. Basically depeg, and after that went back up, and after that eventually everything went fine. It has been depegged for 2 times, so we can look at it. So over here, by looking at the chart itself, over here when it started out, it has been basically depegged, and after that eventually it went back, and of course overpegged, something like that, and it went down again. And of course these two situations over here, shit had happened, and after that I believe that over here this time itself Luna has been like facing some crisis, and eventually they managed to pull back everything. And of course for a long time it has just finally just crashed. I believe that this over here, it is somehow a testing phase maybe for those attackers. Since the start itself they found out that about this ecosystem, and after that they can just do some tests over here, and after they eventually know that something can work out, but of course how much is needed, so calculation has been done. So I believe this over here has been the attack of the hedge fund or whatever people want to call it, and after that from there eventually just went down all the way to like, yeah, I mean it's worthless now. I mean you still can trade for your US Tether, the stable coin. You can just trade it at a discounted price of 85% in value, something like that. So I would say what is next itself on the official itself, this over here is heartbroken, and of course pain of his invention that is brought, I mean like he have bring a lot of pain to a lot of people. I mean like on Twitter itself, I mean on Reddit itself, I have went to the Luna Reddit, and after that from there people has been like wanting to commit suicide because they put their whole life savings into Luna, and after that eventually this shit happened. Some of them put in like 50,000, 100,000, and of course some even took loans to basically put into this ecosystem itself. And after that from there you can see the price of Terra slash Luna itself has already crashed like fuck. And of course from here you can see, yeah, it went from $100 all the way down to like a few cents. And after that I would say this over here is very devastating, and of course people have been losing a lot of money. And imagine putting like a few 100,000 into it. Right now it's worth, I would say, almost $10. And after that, yeah, basically this is what had happened. And of course I believe that there's a lot of people out there watching, and after that from there I would say my condolence again. And of course number 2 itself, he still believe that the decentralized economy deserve the decentralized money, but it is clear that UST itself in this form will not be that money. Yes, definitely, because it has lost its peg, and after that from there they have claimed to basically try to salvage this situation when it went down to like 90 cents or something like that, but eventually they are too late. And of course eventually the whole thing just crashed, and after that the whole market crashed. I would say Ethereum, everything followed down. And of course from there I would say he claimed that neither him or any institute that he's affiliated with have profited in this incident. And of course he said he has have not sold any Luna nor US Terra during the crisis itself. So I believe that I mean, like, whatever he can say, you can believe. But of course, to be honest, for my thoughts itself, I think that this is someone that is inside doing something. And of course, yeah, if you want to read more, the thread is linked down below. And after that, from there, you can see they are still trying to do a revival plan for the ecosystem. So I would say it's gonna take like, maybe you will say 1 month or even 3 months to see implement whatever is going to happen. And of course, we are going to talk about how much have I lost in this ecosystem itself, 1k, 10k or 100k or even $1 million. But of course, I don't have $1 million. So right now I'm going to show you the portfolio. So this is my buy history on Luna itself. So the first time I bought Luna itself, it was like at $34, and after that I'm like, okay, why not I just buy some and hold. So eventually it went higher, and of course I as a hodler, to be honest, I'm here for a long time, and the long space itself, I have lost like around 1,700 in US dollar, USDT, and after that, from there, I would say, when I first bought it itself, it was around March 6th, and after that, just held it, put it onto the locker, whatsoever, earn some passive income, and after that, eventually, I earned some passive income over here, and did not sell because, yeah, I mean, like, I'm a long-term holder, and after that, my strategy is to hold for quite some time, and eventually, when the price dipped, I mean, like, dipped to $8, I thought, like, it was a good opportunity to buy, and I bought, like, $600 over in, and after that, from there, it went to 36 cents, I bought, like, $7, and after that, I mean, like, this, whatever finds that I can find, and eventually, it dipped to, like, 42 cents, I was like, okay, it went up a bit, and buy a bit, so this is a lottery ticket, I would say. This buys over here is just a lottery / gamble to the ecosystem itself, but of course, right now, as of today, $1,000 over went down to like 10 cents. So I would say if I sell everything, I can't even buy a total ticket with $1 itself. So yeah, I mean, just let it be there. And of course, to be honest, my action itself, I'm not gonna sell or whatsoever. I'm not gonna buy. I mean, like, look at this, I only have 700 over Luna that cost me around $1,000 to buy, but right now you can use like $1 to get a few thousand of Luna. And after that, I would say I'm not encouraging people to buy, because the system itself looks like, at the looks of it itself, it looks wrecked, and after that, beyond salvation. Right, so the thoughts about this itself, I would say previously they have been talking about how to salvage this Luna / Terra network itself. Some of them, like, they have, like, from what I heard about it, they are trying to basically revive the network, and after that, from there, how they can do it itself, it is the blockchain. So once it's going, and after that, nobody can tamper with the things or whatsoever. But if let's say you have like tons of validators / voting power on the network itself, you can actually bring I would say you can actually roll back the whole network / shut down the network, because you have the 51% of this staking power, which is the concept in the crypto space. If let's say somebody have the 51% of the hash rate, they can basically manipulate transaction and whatsoever. So this is what is happening. So from what I know about this Terra Foundation itself, they have already been like, they have basically minted tons of Luna. I would say over here you can see Luna itself, the supply was a few million, I think 200 over million, but as of today it has been over, like, is this 6 billion or something like that? Yes, basically they have been 650 billion. Oh my god, basically this Luna has been Shiba 2.0, and after that we can see that they have minted like tons of Luna to basically take over the network. And after that, from there, from what I know, they have minted like tons of Luna to basically put on to the validator, and from the validator itself, they can basically have full control of the network, and after that, from there, do whatever they want to salvage. So the first thing that they did was basically shut down the network. So they have halted the transaction at this block, specific block, I do not know which one. Basically they have paused the transaction, and after that, from there, the transaction has not been, I mean, like, has been stopped, and after that, eventually they did not reverse the whole blockchain back to the day when, I mean, like, this LFG secured some Bitcoin for buying or whatsoever at the block. I've already mentioned over here, they have bought some Bitcoin at a discounted rate. So over here, this part itself, they are unable to basically roll back all the way there because it is somehow too late, people claim. But of course, to be honest, this whole Luna ecosystem itself, it is somehow looking very centralized as of today. And of course, I mean, like, to salvage this itself, people have been like saying, like, let Luna be a chain, forget the UST itself. I mean, like, UST and Luna itself, it works hand in hand. Of course, removing the UST itself, Luna would not have some sort of value. And of course, my thoughts about it, I mean, like, if let's say the developer wants to do something itself, but it can break a lot of trust from the centralized exchange, which is basically rollback. Basically, they can roll back to the day itself they made the trade with the whoever it is that sold them the Bitcoin. They can just roll back all the way there, and after that, from there, just implement whatever fix or miracle that they can find that is flawed in the system, and of course, from there, implement it. But of course, as by looking at it itself, it is the system, I mean the whole algorithm, the algorithmic US Tether itself, the stablecoin, it is meant to fail. But of course, I mean, like, they have already admitted that. A lot of people have read up and after that say that this algorithmic stablecoin itself is bound to fail, and after that from there is no fix to it, and yeah, basically just let it be, just pause the chain, and after that from there see what they can do. Yeah, eventually they pause the chain, and after that like tons of Luna has been minted, and after that you can see the price itself crash all the way down, and of course reaching $1 itself. That means the Luna market cap is around 653 billion, which is impossible. And after that I would say, yeah, I mean, Luna is as good as dead to me, and after that from there I would say, am I going to pour in more money into Luna / the UST ecosystem? No, I'm just going to stop investing into this kind of project, because I've witnessed the fail, and after that from there it is meant to fail. And of course, if you want to dig more about this ecosystem itself or what happened itself, feel free to do it on Google. And after that, I believe that Do Kwon itself has been affiliated with some Basis Cash, which was another Luna, I mean like another stablecoin, but it has already failed or something like that. So yeah, I mean like a lot of shit that people are finding basically has been uncovered, and after that everything about his past has been dug out. So I would say being cocky in the space is a no-go, and after that from there I would say everybody have lost their money. So always remember, you can only afford in whatever you can afford to lose. So this is the golden rule of investing. And after that I would say $1,000 that I put in, it is okay that I lost that amount, because it is a gamble to me. So everything that I invested, I would say it is a gamble. And after that I would say, some people might say, okay, it's not a gamble if you do your research or whatever, but whatever it is, there's a slight chance that you are taking a gamble, because you will never truly know what happened, because the Terra UST ecosystem itself looks legit, and after that from there people have been like invested in it, put the life saving in or whatsoever. Eventually now everything came crashing down. So the lesson learned itself is never take a loan for investment, unless, I mean like, if let's say it's property itself, you will need a loan. If let's say this like all this high speculative investment that can go opposite direction within like 10 minutes or whatsoever, do not take a loan on that. And I would say never take a loan on investment itself unless you have like tons of capital to cover it, and after that from there you know what you're doing. Not basically, you're not gambling purely, because if let's say you understand the ecosystem, at least 80% of the chance itself you are taking is your due diligence, your research, and another 20% is a gamble. So this is how the concept you should go for. And after I've come to the end of the video, if you like the video, kindly hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notification, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye bye, peace.